But nobody sent in a picture, including you. But you did call me, so.
I didn't email you.
And Mark, you didn't send in a picture either, but I'll let it go.
I took your picture. I was part of that.
We must not be in a recession. I can't give away a 5-pack of $8 cigars. All you have to do, everybody out there, is I'm going to extend this contest. Take a picture of yourself smoking a cigar in an inappropriate place. And you know what? Even if you don't want to go to an inappropriate place and take a picture, just fake it. All right? I'm now allowing Photoshop images. And to get the ball rolling, to give you some ideas, here's one of me, okay? So let's take a look. So here's me smoking a cigar. In the delivery room, there's I don't know if that's the nurse or the mother. I guess that's probably the nurse, right?
Well, so maybe the mother likes scrubs.
And there's me.
So they're very comfortable, I hear.
It looks like the baby does have some smoke in his eye.
I couldn't wait to pass out cigars, so I just decided to light up right in the room. As you can see, the
baby's crying because he wants one. You left him out.
The nurse doesn't seem to care too much. She seems to be, pretty open to the idea.
She's excited about the cigars.
I gotta thank my loving, adoring wife. She doctored that photo up. She's a web designer, graphic design artist, and today this is her homework assignment. I also want to give shout out to my wife, who, when I said I want to do a cigar talk show in my apartment, she said, "Well, let's just redesign the living room and just make it permanent." I'm like, okay, all right. Now, how many wives out there?
Not happening in my living room.
No, would allow their husbands to completely. And this is an apartment. This isn't Wayne Manor here.
Right.
So I thank my wife for letting me turn my living room into basically a talk show. And a lot of my motivation was, of course, from the episode of Seinfeld where Kramer pillages or pilfers the Merv Griffin television show set out of a dumpster and sets it up in his living room. This is kind of what we're working with here. Now let's take a close up of Mark's cigar here.
We can watch it fall. I will say that yes, we did have a little bit of a problem here, but no smoke is coming out of the crack, and none of these other ones have cracked, but it happens.
John,
I could have squeezed it too by mistake.
Your ash fell off?
It fell right off. But it flaked a little bit as it was going. But
I think your ash has been the flakiest of all of them here.
Yeah.
I knocked mine off because I neglected it and I had to kind of put a little more heat to it. What kind of flavors are you experiencing there?
Well, like I said before, it started off pretty, fairly peppery, but that didn't last very long, and it just kind of came into its own. And it's a little stronger than the Connecticut, definitely, but it's a smooth cigar.
As this is getting down, it's, like all cigars, it's gaining strength too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's getting fuller flavored, but and it's definitely getting a deeper. It's leaving a deeper aftertaste.
Once you get down to this part of a cigar, on most cigars, they start to get hot. This thing is pretty cool. You guys noticing any heat?
No heat on this.
And no harshness or bitterness from the heat buildup?
No.
Now here's a question for you guys. I've always wanted to know, I'm not too sure on, does the ash of a cigar keep it burning cooler or does it make it burn hotter? I'm not sure what the physics are behind it. Some people think that it insulates it from the heat, but I don't know. So perhaps leaving the ash on is good to keep it cool, because there's a lot of tobacco burning in here, and we are indoors, and we've got a window open and a box fan in the window. But even though we've got 3 giant cigars burning, there's really not a lot of agitation. It's not. I don't feel like we're dying in here, which if these were bad cigars, I think we'd be choking to death by now. So it's a little tough to pick up the flavors of the individual cigars because of all the other ones in these close quarters, but the Connecticut is at this point really mellowing out, and it's pairing well with the Hennepin. There's a little bit of dryness to this Connecticut, not dry in a physical sense, but dry in the way a wine is dry. It doesn't have that sweet, creamy, buttery sort of fruitiness to it. It has a nice dryness, which is excellent when you complement it with one of these beers, because the fruitiness and the caramelly flavor of the beer really contrasts it well and kind of clears your palate.
Yeah, and it wets down the dryness too.
Just right. Connecticut's, I find, don't sell as much or as well as a lot of my other cigars. They're sort of I think they're kind of the unsung heroes of the cigar world. There's not a lot of that upfront, big, sweet flavor, that richness, that cocoa, that coffee, that comes with a lot of the other cigars, the Corojos, the Cameroons, and the Brazilian wrapped cigars. But I like that. I think that the Connecticut's sort of take a back seat, and I don't know. They're not something that I don't know. Maybe it's an acquired taste. I think because they just don't sell as well as a lot of. In fact, these Connecticut's, the Connecticut NUB doesn't sell as well as the Corojo, but the Habano or the Cameroon. But I think I like these the best, because I'm just a big Connecticut fan. In fact, there's a few Connecticut's that have gone away that I miss. The Te Amo, the New York by Te Amo. There's also a Connecticut, if anybody out there has any more, they're called Trader's Reserve. I don't know if you ever had any of those. Those are years ago. I love those, but they're gone.
Now, didn't you have an idea for a sort of a retirement, a cigar retirement segment, where we would do a little ceremony in commemoration of the
yes,
canceled cigars or discontinued cigars?
Yeah, I call it Memory Lane, and let's take a walk down Memory Lane right now. I want to show everybody the last one that I have, although there may be some still available online. In fact, I went online, I saw there's a couple stores that are still selling these. Whether or not they're in stock, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't update. But my first inductee to the cigar Memory Lane is the Torano Grand Nica. It's a Nicaraguan made cigar. They made these back in the late 90s. And it has a Sumatran wrapper, which is from Indonesia. A lot of people wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole. I love them. And I don't know why they stopped making them. There's really nothing I don't like about these cigars. And they probably have the toothiest wrappers I've ever seen on a cigar. And I've got, this is my last one. This is all I have left. And if you can see
Save it for a special occasion.
The cellophane is very yellow.
Getting brittle.
The wrapper is starting to dull. So this is my first inductee into, I guess it's not, I'm not really inducting into Memory Lane. I'm just taking a walk down Memory Lane.
You're bringing
it back
down Memory Lane.
Why do birds suddenly appear, Grand Nica, every time you are near? Just like me, you long to be close to me.
Yeah, that was nice.
Torano still makes many great cigars. The Grand Nica is not one of them.